An interesting thing about Logan and his protege, Austin, they claim to be Bomber fans. But I'm just going to come out and say it, okay, because no one else will. Closet Rider fans, alright? Closet Rider fans. That means they aspire to be Rider fans when no one else is looking. Believe me, they read Rider blogs in their spare time. They wear green when they're out in public, and they talk about the Riders when I'm not looking. Okay, so you know what, guys? Don't fight it. There's worse things than being a Rider fan. Believe me, you could be Snooki's baby, or even worse, you could be babysat by Casey Anthony, line cross. Just saying. So guys, don't fight it. Come over to the good side. And with that, we're going to go to our second question, which comes from Andrea from Martinsville. And she asks, well, she says, my 2-year-old requests the book The Always Team at least once a day, which let me tell you is one time too many. Amen. Touche. I believe you. Do you know if the sequel is any better? Or what would you would you even consider writing your own Rider Kids book? Maybe with even one interesting page? P.S. I'm sure Snooki would read it to her baby. Oh, that just makes me totally want to write a Rider's book, okay? Like, that was the tipping point. You know what, Andrea? This is your lucky day because I happen to have the Always Team with me. It's one of my personal favorites. I'm going to read you one of the snippets out of it. It's riveting stuff. You'll understand why this is truly one of my favorite books. Here, we'll go to page 3. Brendan had always loved playing football. End of page. But he didn't like losing, and his team was losing more than it was winning. Wow. Riveting stuff. Like, really, this is deep. This is deep. Rob, Stevie, and Brendan were the Ray Street Riders. They knew there had to be a way to turn their season around. But how? Rob, the offensive liner. Sorry. Hello? Oh, hey, yeah, Snooki just called. She wants her literacy back. So, oh man, that terrible. There's one thing you want to know about selling Rider books in this province is that you could write a book and say, I love Caesar salad on every single page, and as long as it had green on it and it had the Rider logo on it, it would sell. So I don't know what more to say there. Don't read it. This book sucks. Sorry for the marketing. I'm sure you're gonna do fine without it. Here. Don't read it. End of story. And with that, we're gonna go to our last question. And this guy has 2 questions. This is Austin. This is Logan's protege, and they just keep flooding my inbox with questions. But you know what? You guys want it. You guys got it. Austin wants to know, in spite of this being a Rider blog, what changes do you think that the Bombers need to make? And can you see Lule passing Calvillo in passing yards near the end of Lule's career? Well, let's start with the Bombers. Aside from needing to change everything, I'm going to pinpoint 3 things that the Bombers need to do to turn the ship around. And number 1, maybe you hadn't thought of it, but it's the pass defense. Absolutely horrific. The 2 guys that are responsible for Swaggerville last year and for their success have absolutely taken the year off. Jonathan Hefney and Jovan Johnson, clearly, game in and game out, they talk smack, but they can't cover the broadside of a barn. Like, really, if you watch the replay of each of the games, These guys are continually getting burnt over and over. And I believe me, I've seen some really bad pass defenses. I followed the Riders in the 90s. Number two reason the Bombers are doing so horrible and what they need to change is the quarterbacks. Obviously, they haven't had a number one quarterback, a reliable one, since... You don't help me on this one. You know better than me. Joey Elliott, like seriously, 3 for 7 for 25 yards in the Banjo Bowl. Like, so basically, you got from here to that wall and back in 3/4 of football. Like, really, your head to shake. With Buck Pierce, I think they can turn it around to a certain extent, but again, he's an injury-prone Band-Aid. And number three, obviously, the coaching. Tim Burke. Really, what are you doing on the sidelines there, aside from frowning and putting together game plans that no one wants to follow? So, luckily, they have changed the quarterbacks. Hopefully, they keep losing this year, so they replace the coach and the GM. And pass defense, I think they have the talent there, they just aren't getting it done. So, the solution isn't as big as it may seem. They still have a shot at making the playoffs. They have one loss, I think. One loss before they're mathematically eliminated. Really what they need to do is the NFL has replacement refs. The Bombers need replacement players. Can Javon Johnson and Hefney really just go on strike already? That would solve a lot of problems. But don't worry, Austin. One day your team will win it all, unless you follow the Mayan calendar. In which case, the world ends sometime this year, and we're all screwed.